Hello there, I hope you are all good. This is the first video here in my studio on my desk that I built recently. I still have lots of things to do, lots of things to finish. I still have to mount the cameras, the lights in different places. I don't like to have light stands everywhere here in the studio, and I have lots of ideas about how to fix that. I want to put also some acoustic panels on the walls, on the ceiling and this stuff. But it's been more than 10 days I'm playing with the DJI Nano. It is here, this bad boy, and you've been asking for my thoughts about this camera. I've been making vlogs with it. I've been comparing it to this Insta360 Go Ultra in some vlogs as well. But yeah, finally it's the time where I can be like showing you my thoughts about this camera. It's not a full review. Keep that in mind, this is not a review, this is not a sponsored video. But in today's video I'm going to show you 14 different points that I found interesting when I was trying to compare these two here. The Insta360 Go Ultra from one side and the DJI Osmo Nano from the other side. Let us start. Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Photorabs, a portrait photographer based in France, and I like creating content about action cams, vlogging kits and anything related to cameras actually. If you are interested in these topics, I highly appreciate if you go subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. And in today's video I'm going to talk about this DJI Nano from one side and this Insta360 Go Ultra from the other side. So it's gonna be somehow like a comparison or maybe my own thoughts about these cameras, what I like and what I don't like about them in a comparative kind of videos. So let us start. The first thing to mention in this video is about the design of the cameras. These two here. The Insta360 Go Ultra is a modular camera as well. You can take it off the pod, you can put it in the pod, you can use it in the way that you would like to. This is somehow a rounded square format, as you can see. I'm not going to dive into the dimensions of this camera, but we don't have a logo on it, so it's really minimalistic. You can go like uncovered with this one. I wrote some notes here so I will not forget about it. And you have the black version and the white version. So if you are wearing, for example, a black shirt, you can use the black one and you will be totally incognito. If you are using a white shirt, you can go for this white one and it will be completely incognito. So this is something very interesting if you'd like to get some nice POV shots in shops, in malls and this stuff. Of course, you cannot have both of them. They are a bit expensive. This is something to mention, that the Insta360 Go Ultra is a little bit more expensive than the DJI Nano, but you can find some skins for these cameras. So you can cover it with a skin and then you can get, I think, all the colors that you would like to with this one. On the opposite side, we can see that the DJI Nano here is smaller, we can say a little bit, but it is deeper, and in terms of weight they are almost the same thing. But what annoys me on this one is the branding, this DJI, this bulky thing here, because you cannot be incognito with it. It's so deep. If you put it here, it will be very easily seen and noticed compared to this one. This is from my personal experience. This one is a better POV camera than this one, just because of this logo and because this one is a little bit bulky. So if you would like to put it on your helmet or something like that, this one is a little bit thinner, so it will be a better option for this kind of use. The standalone cameras weighs 53 grams for this one against 54 grams for this one. So I don't believe that the weight matters with these two cameras. The only thing that matters is how you would like to use it and with which one you are most comfortable to use, whether the DJI Nano or this Insta360 Go Ultra. If you would like to talk about the charging of these two cameras, they both support the fast charging technique. Of course, you can have slightly better performances in terms of charging with this one compared to the DJI Nano, but it's like very minimal, like 80% in 12 minutes compared to 80% in 15 minutes. So this is not of a big deal in lots of cases and in my type of use. So I cannot say that this is a huge leap for the Insta360 Go Ultra over the DJI Nano. I think this is a tie between these two, because with like few minutes of more charging and this stuff, this is not of a big deal. Let's be honest about that. Let me know your thoughts about this point in the comment section below. The thing that you are mostly excited about is the sensor size. We have 1/1.28 inches on this one compared to a sensor of 1/1.3 inches on the Nano. This is not of a big deal in my opinion. The sensor is probably slightly bigger, but not of a big deal. This is to be clear and to be honest. But on this one, we have this ambient light sensor here, this white dot, that you don't have it here. So what is the job of this light sensor? It will see the light around, it will calculate the white balance properly compared to this one, and I've noticed that when I was doing some auto white balance test with these two cameras. So the white balance reading of the Go Ultra is a little bit better than the DJI. The flickering on the Insta360 Go Ultra is a little bit better because of this ambient light sensing, and we don't have that here. We have just an algorithm, so it is a computer processing inside of this camera to calculate the shutter speed and everything according to the flickering around. So this is something to know. So this is very nice, and add to that we have the auto pure video mode, which is insane on the Go Ultra, and thanks to this ambient light, it will measure the light around and it will tell you that now you have to be shooting in pure video or not. So this is a great feature that was introduced to this camera in the firmware updates, and this is one of the best features in my opinion for this Go Ultra. But on the other hand, we have only 8-bit color recording on the Go Ultra compared to 10-bit color recording on this DJI. Is it of a big deal? Not at all. At least for those who'd like to use the cameras to record videos, to post them on social medias, on YouTube, on Instagram, and so on, you will not notice this difference. You can notice this difference if you are shooting in D-Log, but once again, this is not my type of use for these tiny action cameras. And even if you are shooting in normal color profile, you can still desaturate a little bit the colors, increase this color or that color, increase a little bit the shadows or the highlights, or you can do like small tweaks in the colors without damaging the image quality. So having 10-bit and 8-bit in these action cameras is not of a big deal for me. It can be a huge deal for you, a deal breaker for you, for example, but for me this is not very important. Though I'm enjoying using these two cameras, I've been using this Osmo Nano for the whole time it was released, and I noticed that the colors and the image quality is not consistent. Probably it was because of the first firmware and the second firmware, but that brings me to another point. I think these cameras are great, to be honest, but what I don't like about the companies, when they release cameras, they don't give you the full specs of the camera, all the full features of the camera. They keep pushing features slowly with firmware updates, and that is like a little bit annoying, because all the reviewers who reviewed these cameras when they were released before these actual firmwares, they had lots of things wrong in terms of battery management, in terms of overheating and this stuff. So now I'm making this video at this point because we got a firmware update for this one. So now we have great features, and I noticed that the low light performances are way better now than compared to the first firmware. And remember that the pre-release firmware of the Osmo Nano didn't have the low light performance, the super night mode. So this is something that I think we should think about every time we see a new camera, to wait few days, few weeks probably, to get a nice review about it, a good review about it, so we can decide whether the camera is really interesting for us or not. For vloggers, the field of view of these cameras is not of a big deal because we aren't using it to the fully. I mean, I'm using this one in wide field of view and I'm using this one in mega field of view. So this is something that is more than enough for vlogs, but you have to know that this one offers 156 degrees field of view if you go to the largest field of view, compared to 143 degrees on the Osmo Nano if you go to the largest. So you have like 13 degrees of difference. If you'd like to use this camera for POV shots, this is where you will see the huge difference between these two in terms of field of view. This is a test in ultra wide with the DJI Osmo Nano, which is the widest field of view of this camera. And this is the action field of view on the Insta360 Go Ultra, which is the widest field of view of this camera. On the DJI Osmo Nano, we have few problems. The first one, if you're using this camera out of its pod, you cannot play back the footage on the camera. And DJI said that there will be an upcoming firmware update to allow that, but for now you cannot do this. And if you have your microphone connected to your camera, if the camera is on the pod, you can still have a video feedback on the screen. But if the camera is not on the pod, this one, you don't have a video feedback. This is not an issue at all on the Insta360 Go Ultra, which is very nice. So if the camera is out of the pod, you can view the footage, the photos on this pod without issues at all. And recently we have the connection with the mic Air from Insta360. So even if the mic is connected, you can still get the footage on the pod if the camera is not inside of the pod. And by the way, once again, thank you DJI for releasing the DJI Nano, because this was the main reason, I think, in my opinion, that pushed Insta360 to release the firmware to have the mic Air connection available with the Insta360 Go Ultra. And that's a great feature once again on the Go Ultra that I like. You can get the microphone connected and you can see the footage even if the camera is not in the pod. Before I talk about the battery usage as well as the overheat test that I've done on these cameras, let me tell you that with Insta360 Go Ultra you have much more modes available and much more color profiles available. You don't have the log color profile, but you have the other ones, and you can have the auto pure video mode activated on this one. These are things that you cannot find on the DJI Osmo Nano. You have the HDR always activated on this one, while on this Insta360 you can activate it and disactivate it. You can have the face priority mode for the exposure or the matrix priority mode. So these are things that you can only find on the Insta360 camera and not on the DJI. Concerning the batteries and the overheating, I will put these two in the same category because the first test I've done with these two cameras, they were on their pods, they were fully charged, and I started recording. I forgot that I had the auto pure video mode activated on this Insta360 Go Ultra, which will drain the battery a little bit faster, but still I got more than 2 hours of recording on these two cameras, you know. And then by the end of my test I was bored, so I had to stop that test, because who will use these cameras continuously for more than 2 hours? The cameras were here in my studio and I don't have an airflow around them. So yeah, this is a very harsh test, and they succeeded to live till the end of the test without issues at all. I didn't had overheating. I got at about maybe 60 degrees Celsius on the bodies of the cameras, which is fair enough after 2 hours of use, and yeah, without airflow around and this stuff. So I didn't have any overheating on these cameras. Knowing that, I had the screens turned off for the screensaver and this stuff, you know, you can put that in the menus of the camera. So this is how I used them for this test, and I didn't get any overheating issues. But I made another test with these two cameras. I turned off the auto pure video and I wanted to see if it has an effect on the battery life and on the overheating of the camera. But for more than 115 minutes, so a little bit less than 2 hours, these cameras were running here once again in the studio without airflow around them in their pods, and I didn't have issues at all. The only thing is that the memory card of this one, or the built-in storage of this one, was full because I was using it throughout the day for some other stuff. So this is the main thing that obliged me, if I can say that, to stop the test. But once again, I measured with this Fluke thermometer here, laser thermometer, as well as with this infrared camera, the FLIR C2 here, that I got from a friend just for this test. And once again, the temperatures didn't exceed the 60 degrees Celsius or around that on the camera body. And this is really fair enough for this kind of test. No overheating. Both cameras were recording till I stopped them until, well, the storage was full on this one. But besides that, no issues to mention at all. Both cameras have great internal microphones, but on this Insta360 Go Ultra, you have the vocal enhancement, which is great for vlogging. So I've been using this camera a lot to vlog, even without this Insta360 Mic Air. And recently we got the capability to connect this one to the camera. But even before that, I've been using it to vlog with. While with this one, you can, of course, connect all the DJI mics except of the DJI Mic 1. You can get the Mic 2, the Mic 3, the Mic Mini. So here I have the Mic 3 with the camera, and it connects with the Osmo audio. So I believe that the built-in microphones on the Go Ultra are better than the built-in microphones on this Nano, but DJI microphones and the Osmo audio is incredible. So I think that this point will go to the Insta360 with the built-in microphone, even if we can't connect the Mic Air. But if you'd like to use some external mics, I think the point will go to the DJI Osmo Nano in this category. Yesterday I posted a video, my first video with this DJI Nano, and today I decided to take it out along with the Insta360 Go Ultra side by side. I don't have a wireless microphone for now. Yesterday I posted a video, my first video with this DJI Nano, and today I decided to take it out along with the Insta360 Go Ultra side by side. I don't have a wireless microphone for now. Let's talk a little bit about the mounting options for these cameras. Of course, you have this traditional thing that Insta360 made, especially for this camera, that snaps perfectly. But this is a little bit annoying because if you have an Ace Pro 2, if you have the X5, you cannot use the same mounts, and this is really not a good thing. But I found another option to be able to use that. I made the video about it. You can go check that video that I bought from Amazon. I'll put the link also in the description box, so that you can adapt all the other Insta360 mounts for this Go Ultra. So this is very interesting, but I wish that Insta360 thought about that before making this one, and I'm sure that they can still adjust this one and having something with like the feet here available for the Ace Pro 2 mount and this stuff. So this is still something that they can work on. On the other side, on the DJI, you can use the quick release system from the Action 2, Action 3, Action 4 and Osmo 360. Everything is compatible with this one, so this is a great point. But in terms of mounting, let me just talk about this pendant here. So this is the pendant from DJI, and this is the pendant here from Insta360. Let's be honest and let's be fair. If you'd like to put your camera on the pendant from DJI, and if you have it on your shirt, you cannot know if it's really straight, horizontal or not. So you can always have that angle. So this is not something that personally I like. It is a strong magnet, but you don't have that straight horizontal level. While if you get the one from Insta360, okay, and you put it like this, it cannot be, you see, whenever I flip it a little bit, it will go again to the center, which is a great thing in my opinion, because lots of people are getting these cameras to use them with their pendant magnet here, But yeah, I feel that this one is better because once again, Insta360 were on the market for these cameras for quite some time now, and DJI are just starting with it, even if they had the DJI Action 2 before. But this is something that is way better on the Insta360, way better thought and way better designed in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts about this point down below. This DJI Nano has a 2-inch OLED screen, while this Insta360 Go Ultra has a 2.5-inch LED screen. So which one I prefer? I really prefer the one on the Insta360 for many reasons. It's a little bit brighter than the one on DJI. We have on the spec sheets 900 nits on this one and 700 nits on the DJI, but this is not of a big deal. The user experience is the one that is more important in my opinion. I don't like the one on the DJI because if you'd like to flip it to the other side, you have to take it off and put it again. This can be done really easily, but if you have gloves, it's not something nice to have. And another thing, if you'd like to vlog, this one offers you a big real estate to see yourself and to frame your shot, which is very nice. The fact that you can check the photos if the camera is not in the pod, it's another feature for this camera. But if you'd like to get some low angle shots with this one, it's really feasible because you can just tilt the screen the way that you want and you will get the viewing angle. While on this DJI, imagine you would like to get some bike ride with this one. You have to mount the camera somewhere and mount this pod in another direction, so you need 2 mounts for that. With this one, you don't need that at all. You can just flip the screen up and down and get those nice shots or get all the information you want to have on the camera without the hassle. So this is very interesting on the Insta360 Go Ultra. And I mentioned in a previous video that if you have your camera in this setup, so the camera facing forward, just like the screen in a vlog scenario, you'd like to plug the camera to transfer the files if you don't have a storage inside of it, SD card. So the computer will not recognize the camera in this direction. You will get a notification on the screen telling you to flip it around, which is really annoying. I don't know why. It's not of a big deal, but I don't know why you don't have a perfect reading if the camera is in both directions. Even though you have these pins here that are perfectly aligned in this direction or in the other direction, but I think this can be solved in like a firmware update. I don't know why we don't have it now, but I hope that it will arrive very soon. So in speaking of storage, on the Insta360 Go Ultra you don't have internal storage at all. You have to get an SD card, and this SD card will go inside of the camera and not inside of the pod. So it goes on the side here, I don't know if you can see, and not inside of the pod. On the DJI you have two options, whether you get the 64GB internal storage or the 128GB internal storage, but in both cases on this like action pod or multi-viewing pod, multi-purpose pod, you have with the USB-C here, you have that SD card slot, so you can extend the storage of the camera. This is a very nice thing, but I wish it was in the camera body and not in the pod, because if you'd like to extend the camera because you don't need the pod, you'd like to go just with the camera, you cannot do that. You are limited to whether 64 or 128. On the Insta360 you can just change the SD card and you can continue working with the camera without issues at all. So once again, there is no winner in this point. It is really up to the user according to the user experience with built-in storage and so on. I love the built-in storage, let's be honest, but I wish that the SD card was inside of the camera and not inside of the pod. And the last point I would like to mention in this video is the Apple Find My Phone. It is only available on the Go Ultra. You don't have it on the DJI at all. And since I have an iPhone, I think this is a very cool feature. But to be honest, I haven't used it, and I'm not the kind of person that will put the phone and the cameras away from each others, but I think I have just to activate it just in case, but maybe for some other people, for some other users, this is a very important thing. But for me, I don't feel that this is a good selling point or a convincing point in my opinion, for my type of use. It can be a very important thing for you, but for me, well, I'm trying to be as honest as possible. This is a cool feature, but I'm not using it, and I'm not really concerned whether it is available in the camera or not. I might activate it just in case if something happens, but yeah, for me, for my type of use, this is not something that I will be interested in. So both cameras are great. They are both incredible cameras. It really depends on you which one you like the most, which form factor, which color science, what are the features that you are interested in. So it really depends on every single user. For example, I really love this Insta360 Go Ultra for the flip-up screen, the auto pure video mode, and the built-in microphone. On the other side, this DJI Nano has a great feature, which is the capability to connect the DJI Mic 3 here or the Mic 2, Mic Mini, and this stuff. So this is a great feature, even if on the Insta360 you can get this Mic Air and you can connect it to the camera, but I still prefer the audio coming out from the DJI Osmo system. This is for me an important feature, but if I would like to vlog, I made lots of vlogs even in windy conditions with this one without microphones, and the result is really nice. It's really incredible. So that's it, guys. Let me know what do you think about this video. Let me know if you'd like to know more things about these cameras in the comment section box. I have my member zone activated. You can join that member zone. This is a massive help for my channel, and you can ask all the questions that you'd like to know about the gears that I showcase on my channel, and I'll make dedicated videos to answer your questions. Thank you for watching, and see you on another one very soon. Ciao for now.